Greetings, Mr. Chapek, executives, and board of directors. My name is Matthew Lindblad, and I'm the Senior Marketing Director for the Walt Disney Company. I've gathered you here today to introduce you to Disney Does It All, the defining step towards the future of our company. Disney Does It All is a communications campaign involving 3 brand new synergistic initiatives from the Walt Disney Company. This trifecta will involve beloved Disney characters, both classic and new, starting with our augmented reality gamified experience, which will place fans into immersive mobile missions where they can earn discounts on exclusive Disney merchandise. Some missions even segueing into our newly acquired park, Knott's Berry Farm. At Knott's, you will be able to experience the Old West favorites that local fans have grown to love over its 100 years in existence, as well as entertainment offerings from a handful of newly fan-curated Disney Plus original series. In conjunction with encouraging fans to take ownership in future content development, we will also be introducing cross-platform content between the silver screen and your streaming devices at home, allowing immersive, larger-than-life, fan-grown experiences for generations to come. But before we go to infinity and beyond, we must first learn from our history and the competitive landscape in which we find ourselves in today. The Walt Disney Company has become an entertainment conglomerate forced to be reckoned with since its founding in 1923. Walt and his brother Roy Disney paved the foundation for which our company stands on to this day, and we've continued their dream of making magic, capturing the hearts and imaginations of children and adults alike ever since. Nearly a century later, our company ranks number 53 in Forbes' Fortune 500 list, with revenues of $69.57 billion in 2019, up 14.4% from the previous fiscal year. This is well in part due to our recent $71.3 billion merger with 20th Century Studios last March. In addition, 3 of the major contributing factors to our success are the continued revenue growth in parks and resorts, studio entertainment, and consumer products divisions. They are projected to be responsible for $56.2 billion of $81.4 billion in revenue for our company this year. New attractions such as Rise of the Resistance and Marvel Land, slated to open in summer 2020, continue to boost the key performance indicator of maintaining our current standing in annual park and resort attendance, in which we currently hold the top 4 spots in attendance in North America and globally. However, our primary competitor, Universal Studios, is actively grasping for our market shares. In 2019, NBCU announced they have broken ground on an entirely new theme park named Epic Universe in Orlando, in addition to their new Nintendo-based attractions at Universal Studios Hollywood, Japan, and Singapore. This will be Orlando's first theme park that is being built from the ground up since 1999 and will be threatening our existing 25% market share in the Parks and Resorts division. In consumer products, we currently hold 10.94% of the market share, just 0.5% behind our primary competitor, Mattel Incorporated, whose lead is largely in part due to continued success of their IPs, Hot Wheels, Barbie, WWE, and American Girl dolls. Based on the competitive intelligence we've garnered from the success of in-park intellectual property merchandise sales such as Harry Potter and The Simpsons at Universal, we are confident that we can position ourselves to gain an additional 3% market share in our new synergistic AR shopping initiative that I will share with you momentarily. In the streaming wars, Disney has captured nearly 30 million subscribers since its launch just 5 months ago. However, we have much room to grow as our subscriptions pale in comparison to our direct competitor Netflix, who maintains 18% of the streaming service market share with 167 million subscribers worldwide. With our new initiative, our company can increase our net income margin to 25% by 2025. Now that I've established where we've come from and where we are, I'd like to introduce you to where we are going, the Disney Does It All initiatives. The first is an augmented reality gamified shopping experience. This will be hosted on our current Play Disney Parks mobile app. It will be a free-to-play experience combining technology similar to Pokemon Go, in which guests will interact with familiar Disney brand characters in mini quests around the theme park. They will be able to interact with existing rides, stores, landmarks, and live characters. As they progress, they'll earn digital rewards, including new items to adorn their in-game avatar with, as well as discounts on real-world merchandise through shopdisney.com or any Disney Park stores. Nearly as important as the initiative itself is the stakeholders in charge of implementing them. Grace L., the President of Research and Development, will be spearheading this initiative. Her team will be responsible for introducing the AR technology into the existing app and creating the original gamified experience. Grace has a deep knowledge in AR gaming and a knack for developing successful, organic feeling experiences, which have in turn led to driving increased in-app purchasing on her prior projects. One of the biggest challenges for Grace's team will be the launch of the AR experience in our Shanghai park due to China's collectivism dimension of culture. To remedy this, missions will be designed to require other players to join your party in order to complete tasks, thus cultivating a collective experience for players and encouraging a more familiar play environment in Chinese culture. In order to gauge the success of this initiative, I've established 2 key performance indicators that comport with the SMART guidelines. The first is app user spending. In its first year in operation, guest spending within the Play Disney Parks app will increase by 15%. This is an actionable goal since the barcodes that players will be using will show up as a unique identifier in our in-store sales reports. The second KPI is increased park app usage by 30% within the next 2 years. This will be actionable by encouraging cast members to remind guests that park information, show times, fast pass booking, dining reservations, and more can be done through the app. By increasing app usage, there will be a greater chance for guests to interact with a gamified AR experience, especially if they are repeat pass holders. The second initiative is the purchase of Knott's Berry Farm from Cedar Fair. As competition expands their entertainment offerings with their new attractions, there's a market segmentation of Southern California theme park loyalists upon which we can capitalize. Knott's park attendance has continually increased over the past 5 years, and with its purchase and revamp, those numbers will only multiply under Disney's control. We will keep popular traditional Knott's offerings such as Knott's Scary Farm and Ghost Town alive, while also implementing new Disney-themed offerings that correspond with newly released and future IPs. This initiative will cost approximately $1 billion, but would break even on our 6th year and increase our market share to an estimated 30% in parks and resorts. Heading up this initiative is Sean Kay, President of Mergers and Acquisitions for the Walt Disney Company. Sean's background of law, properties, and implementation of Disney Imagineering will be the perfect pairing, especially given his history in holding positions with both Cedar Fair and Disney. The first KPI for the Knott's initiative is 100,000 park attendees within our first week of new operation at Knott's. This is achievable since Knott's already has weekend attendees and since the hype of Disney's stamp on the park will grow throughout our strategic promotion of Disney Does It All. The second KPI is 20,000 SoCal Food Festival passes sold during the Disney Does It All Food Festival. Similar to existing Food and Wine Festival and Chinese New Year's celebration Sip and Savor events, we will be running a cross-park event in which guests can buy a food pass, which will allow them 20 food or drink beverages for $50 across California Adventure, Disneyland, and Knott's to encourage park hopping. The third initiative is the increase of synergy between Disney Plus and studio entertainment. Viewers are hungry for more quality content such as The Mandalorian. 65% of this series' viewers also watch 10 or more things while on Disney Plus. This shows the effectiveness of our quality content strategy to draw in new viewers. I propose we develop crossover content between the two divisions. A practical example of this would be hosting a Disney Plus series finale ending in nationwide theaters with a feature film format, or releasing full-length feature films that lead into a Disney Plus series, similar to the concept of the wildly popular Downton Abbey. In doing so, we can increase theater ticket sales and capture new subscribers with this initiative. These characters can then be utilized in meet and greets throughout the theme parks and plastered on merchandise to be sold utilizing our new AR shopping experience. Additionally, we will provide a streamlined feedback system within the Disney Plus app in which fans can tell us what they like and don't like regarding the provided streaming content. This giving way to a sense of ownership in the development of future programming and fandom. Rudy L., manager of Multimedia Synergy, will take the lead on this initiative, creating and maintaining a synergistic bridge between our current studio entertainment sector and our newly birthed streaming sector. Rudy's team will require additional support in the synergistic initiative launch in Japan, where we will likely need to develop specific content catered to Japanese culture in order to captivate audiences since their indulgent dimension of culture is relatively moderate. One example of specific content to be developed for this region is a Disney show similar to Sazae-san, a classic Japanese anime. The first KPI of this final initiative is 100,000 feedback users by year 3. Through our Disney Plus platform, we will be increasing the effort to engage fans to give feedback and direct what content they'd like to see in the future. By giving them the opportunity to become a member of our Insider Directors Club, they will receive rewards similar to that of the AR gamified experience. This will both encourage loyalty and allow us insight into fans' thoughts and feelings about the content we're releasing. The second KPI is 50,000 double dippers, meaning they viewed a streaming series finale in theaters. This is important as we aim to increase the synergy from Black Mirror to Silver Screen. The way we will establish these double dippers will be through allowing users to sync their movie tickets to their Disney Plus account. By doing so, fans will gain access to additional behind-the-scenes footage that they wouldn't see in theaters or on Disney Plus. As we launch Disney Does It All, we'll be utilizing our CRM system Zendesk to observe and address technological issues that may arise for users within the UI of Disney Plus and the AR Experience app. This will allow our virtual help desk to address concerns in an instantaneous manner remotely with our guests. In addition, we will be using our ERP NetSuite to capture data from our apps, providing a real-time feedback, which will allow us to make any adjustments we may need as the initiatives advance. The launch of Disney Does It All will likely come with some growing pains, so it's important that our HR department has the tools necessary to provide the needed support. Blessing White's X model of employee engagement will be the most effective resource to reference as we move forward. The aim of the X model is to maximize individual cast member satisfaction while achieving maximum contribution from them towards our organizational goals and initiatives. This will create a sustainable level of high performance for both cast members and the Walt Disney Company. Using the ACT, CARE, and CASE acronyms, our HR representatives will have a launchpad in which to address each stakeholder group by. One crucial element to this particular change management will be establishing consistent role models as suggested by Lawson and Price in the Psychology of Change Management. To do so, we will utilize Lewin's change management model in which habits are unfrozen, changes made, and the newly formed communication methods are refrozen to develop our leaders. For example, in the Knots initiative, we will need to unfreeze some pre-existing habits Sean has formed. While it's important not to discredit Sean's past experience, he may have a bad taste in his mouth from how he was treated at Knots in the past. We will have to unfreeze that hostility by asking and listening, allowing him to get it off his chest, and in that moment, we can coach him on the priorities within this initiative. Once those priorities are understood, we can then refreeze. Prior to launch, these initiatives and branding will be announced internally via our employee website, The Hub. External communication avenues will rely heavily on paid, location-based ads on social media. On a grander scale, we will host broadcasted media events that will be streamed live on Disney+. This will feature guest celebrities, musical artists, and beloved costume characters. In closing, I look forward to bringing Disney Does It All to life with you and continuing to create lasting memories in the lives of our fans for years to come. Thank you.